All right, welcome back to My 180 Golf. My name's Shane Lakins. We're here at the Performance Institute with Reed Halton, a member of our team. He's our fitness expert. And Reed, we're gonna do some testing today. So there's a saying in the rehab industry, which I was part of for a long time, if you're not assessing, you're guessing. And so that is what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna assess my movement patterns and see if there's any issues. At 57, there's likely going to be some challenges, and we just have to recognize that those challenges or those movement deficits might be impacting how I swing the club. So I did my TPI certification a long time ago when they first got started, and I know you've recently done yours. So this is what we do with clients. Now, for those clients that are working with us online and at a distance, we have an online version of this that you do and you self-administer and you send the stuff into us. So today we're just going to go through it. I'm going to get Reed to take me through the testing. We're going to go through it fairly quickly, not explain a lot of it. I'm just going to do it, and this is how it would work with a client. So Reed, off to you.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna start. We got about 12 tests that we're gonna do.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the pelvic test, tilt test. So we're gonna get into our golf posture.
Okay.
We're gonna have our hands across our shoulders. And then essentially we're just gonna be rotating or tilting our pelvis forward and backwards, okay? So we're just making this movement, okay? Pulling our belly button, trying to keep our upper body and lower body the same. So this is a really good movement here. As a trainer, I'm looking for any shaking movements, how the movement's super clean. If there's any rotation in the upper back, if there's any tilting, all that kind of stuff.
So if I was having a hard time with that one, there's some options with that. So did I pass that test?
That was a pass.
All right.
Beautiful. Okay.
I'm a good pelvic tilter.
All right, so now we're gonna do another one called the torso rotation test.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into our golf posture again. This is a dissociation one. So we're gonna try and keep our lower body stable, keeping and rotating the upper body. Okay, so again, we wanna make sure those legs aren't moving, the pelvis isn't moving, looking to see how well he's moving his torso side to side, similar to that golf swing.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that would be a pass as well.
2 for 2.
All right, and now it's another dissociation. We're gonna do the pelvic rotation. So we're gonna do it into that same posture, and we're gonna just keep that upper body still, and we're gonna rotate the pelvis side to side.
A little Elvis action.
Yeah.
All right.
So upper body still, golf posture, and rotating side to side. See how well he moves. A little bit of upper body rotation to one side.
Yeah, this one I always struggle with a little bit. Okay, so that's not a pass.
Yeah.
Okay, so but there's a way to determine whether it's a stability or mobility issue.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into that posture again.
Okay.
And if I notice somebody's moving side to side and they aren't able to hold their upper body still, I just put my arms on their shoulders, hold them still. And now if they're able to do that, then it's just a stability issue. Okay, but if they aren't able to do that movement, then it's more of a mobility issue.
Yeah, so you can see, and my movement improved with that. So so that's the difference between that mobility and stability side of things.
Yeah.
So perfect to know which one it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, next one we're gonna do is the lat test.
Okay.
So we're gonna grab the wall, okay, we're gonna make sure our back is nice and flat against. We're gonna slide down until our knees are about a 45-degree angle from the knees to the hips.
Yep.
We're gonna have our arms thumbs up, and we're just gonna keep those arms straight all the way back, and you're trying to touch the wall. Okay. So again, if you're able to touch the wall, it's a pass. If you're able to get past about your arm or shoulder width there, pass. We're looking to see if his arm moves side to side, but right there it looks pretty good.
All right. I was not able to do that one earlier in the year. I have a bit of a shoulder issue from hockey. So that one's actually improved from the last time I did the test.
No, that's a really good one. Okay. Next one, we're gonna do the single leg balance test. Okay. So this is a fun one to do. So we're starting nice and straight. We're gonna
left or right leg? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter which one you start with. We're gonna do both.
Okay.
We're gonna pull our knee up, nice 90 degrees. We have to close our eyes, and we're trying to balance for 25 seconds.
Okay, so on this one, I know from doing it in the past and just working out with clients and as a trainer, move stuff away. So, you know, it's not going to be the loss of balance that's going to be the issue and cause an injury. It's the thing you fall on. So I'm free. I've got lots of padded walls around me. Okay, so I'm going to come up to 90 degrees here, close my eyes, and hands at the side or hands on the hips?
Hands at the side. You don't want them down here.
Okay.
And you can't have them out here. Just
Perfect.
Nice dangling by your side.
Coming up. Are you going to time this?
I can't time this.
All right. All right. So we're gonna make this official.
Yeah.
And so
let's time this here.
15 seconds is going to feel like an eternity here with
You're
my
actually
eyes
going
closed.
25 seconds.
25 seconds.
Yeah,
Oh,
25 seconds.
I don't know why I thought 15.
Okay,
All
whenever
right.
you start, I'll start the timer.
Okay, so, all right, I'm
Good.
on the clock.
On the clock. Again, you have to keep that knee up high. If it starts to drop, that'll be a stop.
Oh, I am fighting this.
Almost there. 10 more seconds. Good. Started to balance out a little bit.
Ah!
Oh, 2 seconds short. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. Same thing.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, I'll start the timer.
So here's something that, because you didn't ask me what side I was going to pick, you're
Yeah.
almost always going to pick your best side first.
Most likely.
So this is likely going to be the deficit
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Also, hockey injury. I got a plate and screws, or 5 or 6 screws in there.
Yeah.
So this one will be a little bit more challenging,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I. Oh man. Okay. All right. Hang on. Let's try that again.
Yeah,
All right.
you're good.
Ready? Okay. I'm on the clock.
You're on the clock.
Oh man, I'm bad.
3 seconds.
All right. So glaring difference from one
100%.
side to the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's obviously a balance thing. Now, if you're doing this at home, solid floor,
Yeah.
being in shoes that don't have a whole lot of crunch to them, because
Yeah.
obviously if I was to stand on something that's a little soft, even
Yeah.
like a yoga mat, it kind of
Yeah.
gets a little bit more difficult to do.
Yeah, and when you're doing that balance, you're always using your foot and kind of,
Yeah.
so you want something to feel like you're nice and cushioned, so nice support.
Yeah, so don't be surprised when you're doing that and you feel that foot kind of moving all sorts of different directions.
Yeah.
That's those little intrinsic foot stabilizers trying to do their job of proprioception, which is to try and kind of keep you balanced. When you close your eyes, that just ramps that up a
Yeah.
little bit. We've
Yeah.
taken away kind of that vestibular
Yeah.
ability to be
Yeah.
able to kind of balance with that.
100%.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
Next one, we're going to do our lower quarter rotation. So we're
Yeah.
going to use those 2 clubs.
Okay.
We're going to set it up in an X situation. Here, you're going to take this 1 club.
Yep.
I'm going to set up this X along the feet.
So this is more just, you can do this on your own or. Perfect. All right.
Okay, so you're going to start with 1 foot crossed over the other. So if you start with your right foot crossed, it means you're going to be rotating to the right. Okay, so club behind your back in this W position, just like this, which is
Okay.
great. And we're just going to rotate to the right side as far as you can.
Now I'm going to sit to the front of the chair
Yep.
here so it doesn't interfere with me.
Yep. So we're just going to rotate as far as we can, avoiding that lack of posture. We want to make sure we're nice and tall.
Okay.
And I'm just looking to see if you can cross that 60-degree plane, which he does there. And I'm going to go to the other side. And then we're going to switch the leg as well.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if we're going to the left, we're going to cross the left. And we're going to go here. Again, going as far as you can. A lot better on this side than the other one.
Which is goofy because this is my follow through versus my backswing.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
maybe why there's a little bit of early extension
Yeah.
in my swing.
Swing,
So,
100%.
yeah.
Okay, so now this one, now we're going to start up and do our lower quarter rotation.
Okay.
So we're going to stand up, we're going to move that chair. Same setup with the clubs at the bottom. This time we're going to have our club against our hips, kind of along the belt buckle there, nice and pressure. So we're going to start with 1 leg forward,
Yep.
all the weight on that front leg, and then our back leg on our toe just for
Yep.
support. And we're just going to rotate externally, internally with the hips.
Perfect. Now, when I do this test, I like to have people put their thumbs kind of in their belt loop,
Yes, yeah.
or just under their pants
Yeah,
there,
just make sure it's nice and
yeah,
secure.
and then just push this up against here.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going to rotate across. Good. And that weight staying on that front leg. We find a lot of external rotation you're able to do a little easier than trying to turn towards inside the knee.
yeah, so this way obviously opens the hip up,
Yeah.
which makes more sense that it gets further. So yeah, don't think that they should both be
Both
the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's closing
Good.
it down.
And then we'll do the other leg. Same thing, nice sit up, weight on the front leg. And we're just going to rotate.
Interesting. Yeah, that one feels a lot tighter,
Feels tighter, yep.
but feels easier this way.
Yep.
Again,
Good.
it should feel the easier but
Yeah.
easier than the other side doing
For sure.
external and
Yep.
over. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Now we're going to go into our overhead deep squat.
Okay.
So I'm going to see, so if you can't do this without feet on the flat, you can have a surface over here for the heels elevated. We'll have this by the side just in case. But what's going to happen is you're going to get into a squat stance, so feet shoulder width apart. You're going to start 90 degrees with the club, and then you're going to straighten those arms extended. And we're just going to try and squat down, keep that club overhead.
Okay.
Good. Squat looks really good. Very even and balanced, but that club is coming a little forward.
It's coming a lot forward. So I'll do it this way, just so that
So that we can see.
they can see how.
So you can see the club starts overhead here, and as he comes down, that club drops in front of his head. Okay, so that's more of a lat issue than a squat issue. So now to see if that adjusts here, we're gonna pull this here. So now we're gonna have heels elevated, just so we can see if we can get that.
Yeah, you're going to
bar.
see how Reed is magically going to make me a better squatter here.
Yeah, so
Okay.
same thing. So you can see that club stays more overhead
Okay.
all
Yeah,
the way through.
little mechanical advantage on
Yep.
that. So then we can start to understand what was the limiting factor with the squat. Was it range of motion? Was it ankle mobility?
Yeah.
And there's a couple tests we can do with ankle mobility too to determine that.
Yeah.
But that would come as a subsequent if
Yeah.
you couldn't do that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, next test we're gonna do is our wrist test. So wrist flexion, wrist extension, along with our hinging motion. So we're just gonna set up the club like this here. Well, nice clubbed against, hands slightly over the club so you have the range to flex. And we're just gonna flex and extend. And we're just noticing any pain, any limited rotation, whether that's flexion or extension. If it feels good, then that's a pass. We'll do it on both sides. Again, try and see if you can find any difference between the two hands. If one's tighter than the other.
So it feels a little bit more stiff than.
Yeah, a little bit more stiff.
But not too bad.
And then we're gonna do the same setup. Now we're just gonna go
go
side to
this way.
side. Our ulnar and radial deviation here. Again, looking for the same thing. Any pain, any limited rotation, discomfort on both hands.
And again,
direction.
you're going to get more this direction than you're going to get
Yeah.
this direction.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So,
And then go the other arm. Good.
okay, so I'm just trying to. So I'm not doing this.
Yeah, yeah. You want to keep that elbow tucked 90 degrees. Good.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Okay, and then we're going into our bridge leg extension test.
Ah, yes.
So we're gonna go on our back here.
Okay.
And we're gonna start with our feet flat on the ground here, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna extend one leg nice and straight out. Doesn't matter which one we start with. And we're just doing a glute bridge. Hips are coming off the ground. You want to try and keep that leg nice and straight. Don't want that leg coming up high. Don't want the hips to drop below the knees. You want to try and get that straight line from the knees to the hips to the shoulders. So we're gonna do the other side, other leg. And we're just keeping that there. And I'm also looking to see if his hips are dropping side to side, if you can keep those hips up. It's looking pretty good here.
How long do I do this one, Reed?
Holding it for about 30 seconds. Not too long. See how well your leg strength is.
So the other thing Reed's going to ask me is like, where do you feel
Yeah,
that? Do you feel it in your hamstring? Do you feel it
Yeah.
in your glute?
Yeah.
Definitely, I feel it, in a little bit more of my hamstring. This is the one that I kind of injured
Yep.
just before heading off to the World Championships for speed golf, so I wasn't able to compete. So that one's still
Yeah.
active a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and that may be an indication of why that was an injury that occurred.
100%.
Because I'm using my hamstring instead of using my glutes
Yeah.
on that side.
Yeah.
So again, Reed's
Really
going to set up some stuff for me to be able to start to get the glutes involved and spare the hamstrings on that exercise.
And the really good thing about that is single leg, so you're identifying that unilateral strength. So
Yeah.
you may have one really good strong side, you just may have a weaker side. It may not be like crazy weak, it's just not as strong as the
Yeah.
other. So
It may just
just
not
being
fire
able-
the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
And then last one, we're gonna do our toe touch test.
Okay.
Okay, so we're nice standing straight. We wanna keep our knees straight. We don't want them bending.
Yeah.
So nice and locked, and we're just gonna go as far down as we can, try and touch the toes. Good. And we're gonna try and see if we can hold that position for a couple seconds.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that.
Because we're in here, we're gonna see if we can find that discomfort where we feel that stretch. Good. And then I'll
right.
back up.
All right. So if I couldn't do that, there's another test that we can do to
Yeah.
kind of see if we can figure it out.
100%.
Okay, so there you go. That's the TPI screen. It's super quick, but it gives you a ton of information about how your body moves in relation to golf-specific swing characteristics. So if you've not done that, go to My 180 Golf and check out the online version that we have that you can assess yourself. Send that in and we'll actually send you a workout specific based on the testing results that you give us. So don't wait. Don't let that swing limitation be something that you can fix on your own.